Hi. It would kind of make sense that the dirt floor chats are from the dirt floor, right? So this last weekly wrap-up is brought to you by Dirt Floor Chats. I am on the campus of Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, having just finished my first full year in grad school. I am getting a Master of Forestry. I want to facilitate the learning and appreciation of forests and forest values. And so I am getting my Master's of Forestry degree. I have been going over 3 classes, and we have those wrap up for those 3 classes, and we have 1 guest appearance. And this is going without notes, so I'm going to give a wrap up, well, except I have notes for the word of each class. And I'm going to give a wrap up. Forest insects. I learned that insects have an incredible intelligence. I learned that that intelligence comes from diversity. They have different hosts. They have different places that they require to be in this unison of functionality, that they can burrow inside the bark and eat, they can burrow through to the xylem and eat, they can eat the phloem, they can be protectors of the trees, they can be attackers, they can come to the rescue of the trees. Yeah, I think that's enough. That's what I learned from forest insects. The word for forest insect is diversity. And that has a very, very basic meaning, and it is variety. So that is a really good sustainability measure. Oh, and they have diversity of life cycles. Like they go through all these morphs. They got that down. They're really good at diversity and sustainability. In sustainability in the sense that they can sustain their repetition, because they can, in terms of the tree, they can get out of hand. But they're really good at what they do. They're really good at being alive and making themselves prosper. Okay. The next one after that is guest appearance by the statistics class. I told you I wouldn't go over any reviews of that until I thought there was a reason. One of the things that was interesting about statistics is I learned from A to Z what every single one of those letters means in the statistical language except W. I couldn't come up with a W. I figured out how to make some graphs, and when I read scientific papers I can understand what my fellow peers are talking about, and the standards that they brought themselves to, which is, yes, that's going to be close to the word of the day. For statistics, I learned that there's no such thing as 100%, that we are binary in thought and action in numerous cultures around the world, but there is no 100%. And mathematically that is not really a likelihood at all. So you get to where you just accept, like maybe you're 95% right, maybe you're 90%, did they put in their 80%? They will tell you what their percentage is of how accurate they think they are, and that teaches you tolerance. So statistics as a philosophical method of saving the world, the word for the day is tolerance. The allowable deviation from a standard. I think that's a fantastic life concept. The allowable deviation from a standard. Okay, ecological economics, I learned value. I learned to value something and how to value it and how to create valuations and what we value, and maybe a little bit touched on why we value it and how to get those values to lead us towards some life that we have some similarity to, which is this planet and this water and this clean air. So hopefully valuing things can help us know what matters. I learned that I'm an economist and price is my middle name. I learned about uncertainty, which goes back to statistics, and that there is this acceptance of uncertainty and how science is rooted in that and wants to be curious. Okay, so the word for econ, no guess, no surprises here, value. Importance, worth, usefulness. What is it that we think is useful, what has worth, and what has importance? Opinions are changed. They are not rocks that you gather up by the side of the road. Thank you, Yansu, and to her friend that gave her that. But yeah, we can change our opinions. So listen up. And last class, research, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. I figured out why scientists are researchers, and I figured out what the word research means, because you search, and you search for an answer, and you search for an answer, and you search, and you search, and you search. And you have this idea that something should be out there, and you can't find it. So you research, and you research, and you research, until whatever that elusive thing is, you found. That is what my independent study was about. It was about the focus down to one thing, one thing, Ellie, one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing. Come down to one thing. And within that one thing, then you can find all this wide open space. But you have to come down and focus to that one concept, that one issue, and within it, then you have to look at every single word that is being used, and is it the accurate word? Is it correct? Does it actually say what you wanted to say? What have you learned that word incorporates? And how then do you keep focusing to one thing, and then you get an answer, and if you focused on the right stuff, it's your heart's answer, and your brain's answer, and your body's answer, because you get to go hike and be strong and powerful, and focus is how you get there. So the word for my independent study is focus. As a verb, it means ability to see clearly. So that's what I learned this semester. I learned about variety, tolerance, value, and the ability to see clearly. And I would say that's some pretty kick-ass understanding and learning that took place in my first full year of my master's degree. And I mention all that because this way you can have your own connection to the forests. I could tell you all the little detailed things I learned about the forest, but that'll have to wait for another day. Discernment, thank you. From rangering to grad school, wilderness leads me. Go NAU Lumberjacks.